Good morning, students. Today we'll start the lesson 3, which is plant kingdom. As we have discussed in previous classes regarding the plant kingdom is also divided into different classes. The first class is Thallophyta, which is commonly known as algae. So today we'll discuss about the algae. As the name suggests, thallophytes means the body is thallus-like, means the plants which are bearing thallus-like bodies. For example, we do observe the plants around us in which we can easily differentiate the leaves, stems, branches and other parts. Whereas in the case of algae or the thallophytes, the body is thalloid-like. We cannot differentiate the body into stem, leaves or branches, these parts. For example, in the case of it may be having the frond or the stipe, these types of structures. So the thallophytes, they are commonly called as algae, and as they bear chlorophyll pigments within them, so they are autotrophs, means they are able to prepare their own food. They are simple in nature, and as being autotrophic, they are able to fix the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen in nature. They are aquatic. They show different types of modes within their habitats. Uh, some may be freshwater, some may be marine water species, as well as some survives on moist stones, upon the soil, or upon the wood also. If we go for the concern of the forms and sizes, they are highly variable. There may be certain species which are colonial, for example the volvox, which we may observe the colony of the volvox, which is spherical in shape and having certain types of the structures, the modifications, having the parent colony within which the daughter colony survives. Some species may be filamentous in nature, for example Ulothrix, Spirogara, etc. So we may observe the filamentous form of Ulothrix, which is in the shape of a filament. Whereas certain members, they forms massive body within the marine water, for example the kelps. Some of the members, they also show symbiotic type of relationship, for example lichens, which are the association between the algae and fungi, in which both are benefited to each other. The algae, we have discussed, is also known as the phycobiont, whereas the fungal part is known as the mycobiont. We have discussed the algae, it prepares the food and it provides the prepared food to the fungus. In return, the fungus, it provides the shelter and the mineral and nutrients to the algae part. As well as certain members of algae, they are also present within the sloth bear. Algae, they reproduces either through vegetative mode of reproduction or through asexual or through sexual mode of reproduction. In the case of vegetative reproduction, for example the Spirogara, it reproduces through formation of the fragments. By the process of fragmentation, each of the fragment, it develops into a new individual thallus. Whereas the asexual mode of reproduction takes place by the formation of the spores, the most commonly the zoospores, which are flagellated in structure. And as they are having the flagella, they are motile or movable in nature. Sexual reproduction also takes place by the fusion of the two gametes. These gametes may be either similar in size. If both the gametes, they are similar in size, they would be called as isogamous. In such type of condition, the gametes may be flagellated and they are similar in size. For example, the chlamydomonas, the gametes, both the male and female gametes are similar in size, so it is called as isogamous. Whereas there are also certain members, for example, in the Spirogyra, the gametes are similar in size but they are non-flagellated, means they do not bear flagella. Whereas if the gametes they are dissimilar in size, means the gametes they are not in similar in size, so such type of reproduction is called anisogamous. And whereas in the case of oogamous, if the one gamete which is large and it is non-motile, it is the female gamete, and it fuses with the small and motile gamete which is movable in nature, and it would be a male gamete, as in the case of volvox and fucus. The larger gamete is the female one, which is static or non-movable in nature, whereas the smaller gamete, which is the male gamete, it is motile one and smaller in size. Now we'll discuss about the importance of algae. As algae, they are having the chlorophyll pigments and they are photoautotrophs, means they are able to synthesize their food in the presence of sunlight. They are able to liberate the oxygen and as well as to fix the carbon dioxide. It is also estimated that around about 50% of the total fixation it do takes place by the members of algae. So wherever they are present within the aquatic medium, they helps to increase the concentration of the oxygen within the aquatic medium, means it increases the dissolved oxygen within the water bodies to increase the efficiency of the productivity of the water bodies, as they are primary producers. So they also helps to maintain different types of food chains within the ecosystem to carry it out, to perform it in a proper way, and they helps to provide the nutrients to the different levels of the ecosystem. Many of the species of the marine alga they are used as a source of food, out of which the Porphyra, Laminaria, Sargassum, they are the rich source of food. Certain members do they act as water holding substances, means they forms hydrocolloids. For example, the algine which is brown algae, whereas a substance called carrageen which is derived from red algae, whereas the agar which is derived from the Gelidium and Gracilaria, they are used in the growth of microbial culture as well as in the production of ice creams and jellies. The most common unicellular member, which is the chlorella, it is rich source of protein within it and which is used as a supplement of food by the space travelers. The class Thallophyta is again divided into these three main classes, subclasses, which are Chlorophyceae, in which the green alga are included. The second group, which is the Phaeophyceae, in which brown alga, whereas the third group is the Rhodophyceae, means having red alga. So now we'll start the first group of the algae, which is Chlorophyceae, which are also called as green algae. As the name indicates, chloro means it is having the pigment chlorophyll and it is similar to the angiospermic plants having the chlorophyll A and B. So they are specifically green in color. They are grassy green in color. due to presence of the pigment chlorophyll A and B, and they may be unicellular or colonial or filamentous. For example, the unicellular may be the Chlamydomonas, chlorella, whereas in the case of colonial form, the volvox, it is the common member, whereas in the case of filamentous, we may observe the Eulothrix, the Spirogera, these are the filamentous forms. The chloroplast present within them, they may be also of different shapes. They may be in the shape of discoid, maybe that in the shape of disc-like shape, or maybe plate-like shape, or maybe in the reticulate shape, or they may be in the ribbon shape, or cup shaped, or in other different shapes. Most of the members of the group Chlorophyceae, they have one or more storage bodies called as pyrenoids, which help to store the food within the chloroplast, and they are having specific type of arrangements, means they are having protein besides starch. We have to consider the protein at the center surrounded by the starch granules. So we have to be careful that these pyrenoids, they are storage bodies and they are having protein besides starch, not starch besides protein, but they are having protein besides starch. Some green algae, they also store the food in the form of oil droplets. If we go for the structure of the cell wall, we have discussed that the plant cell wall is made up of cellulose, but they have one more outer covering outer to the cellulose, which is made up of pectose. For example, if it is a green alga, the cell wall, the inner cell wall is made up of cellulose, followed by the outer layer, which is made up of pectose. As for the reproduction is concerned, the Chlorophyceae, some members, they reproduce through vegetative mode of reproduction. They may reproduce either through fragmentation, means in the case of Spirogera, the fragments, the piece of fragment, it breaks into number of pieces, and may each fragment will develop into a new thallus. Or some, they also reproduces vegetatively by forming spores. Whereas in the case of asexual reproduction, the Chlorophyceae, certain members, they reproduces through forming zoospores, having flagella-like structures. So having flagellated zoospores, they reproduces, and that comes under the category of asexual mode of reproduction. Whereas in the case of sexual reproduction, they may reproduce some members either through having isogamous, means if the gametes, both the gametes, they are similar in size, showing the isogamous mode of reproduction, or some may be through anisogamous, means they are dissimilar in size, or maybe some through oogamous, that we have discussed that one gamete would be large, it would be female gamete and non-motile or static in nature, whereas the other gamete, it would be male gamete, small and motile in nature. As for the examples are concerned, it is very much important to remember the examples of each and every group of the algae. The Chlorophyceae, for example, the members are Chlamydomonas, Chara, Spirogara, Eulothrix, Volvox, etc. You may try to learn it. The Chlorophyceae, it is having the initial letters CH. In these two examples, CH is common. So must remember that for the group Chlorophyceae, two members, they are common, which is starting from CH letter, that are Chlamydomonas and Chara. And the other one, we may create the mnemonic, that is SUV, means Spirogara, S from S Spirogara, from U Eulothrix, and V from V Volvox. Now we'll discuss about the next group, which is Phaeophyceae, which is also known as brown alga. The most of the members of the Phaeophyceae, they are in the marine habitats and they show great variation in their size and form. For example, some they are simply branched or to filamentous form. For example, the ectocarpus. So for example, we may observe the ectocarpus, which is simply branched. Some they may be highly branched, for example, the sargassum, or some may be profusely branched, like in the case of kelps, which are found in marine water, in which they may reach a height up to around about above than 100 meters or till 100 meters. Regarding the presence of chlorophyll pigments within them, we have discussed in the case of Chlorophyceae. The Chlorophyceae, they are having the pigments chlorophyll A and B, whereas in the case of Phaeophyceae, it consists of the pigment chlorophyll A and C, as well as carotenoids and xanthophylls. So we may observe here, instead of B, the another type of pigment, which is chlorophyll C, is present in the case of Phaeophyceae, as well as carotenoids and xanthophyll pigments are present. Due to the presence of the xanthophyll pigment, the color shade it shows variation from olive green to brown color, and due to that special type of pigment, which is fucoxanthine, which is a type of xanthophyll pigment. In the case of Chlorophyceae, we have discussed the reserve food was in the form of parenoids and oil droplets, whereas in the case of Phaeophyceae, the stored food is in the form of complex carbohydrates, which may be in the form of laminarine and mannitol. The vegetative cells, they have the cellulosic wall, usually covered on the outside by gelatinous covering, which is called as algine. In the case of Chlorophyceae, we have discussed that the cell wall was having an outer layer to cellulose of pectin or pectose. The protoplast, in addition to plastids, it contains a centrally located vacuole. We have discussed in plant cell, which is the important characteristic feature, that a centrally located vacuole is present, which due to which the nucleus it occupies the peripheral position. So in the case of this Phaeophyceae, a centrally located large vacuole is present within it and nucleus. The plant body, if we go for the structure of the plant body is usually attached to the substratum by a structure called as hold fast, and a stalk, or also called the stipe, and the leaf like the photosynthetic organ due to which it is able to photosynthesize is called as frond. For example, we may here observe that the structure which helps to adhere the substratum with the help of holdfast, and a stalk like structure called the stipe, and the photosynthetic organ which is called as the frond. As for the reproduction is concerned, the Phaeophyceae members, they also reproduces through vegetative mode of reproduction, that may be through fragmentation, just as we have discussed in the case of Spiragera in the previous group, or it may be also through the asexual mode of reproduction by forming the special spore-like structures which are called as zoospores, and a specific shape which are pyriform shaped, means they are pear shaped in structure, and the spores they are biflagellated, means they are having or bearing two flagella which are attached laterally to the spores, and they are unequal in length. One is larger, other one is smaller in length. The flagella, they are of unequal sizes. Whereas in the case of sexual reproduction, the gametes formed, they are also specifically piriform shaped or the pear shaped, and they may be either through isogamous, means both the gametes they may be of the similar in size, or may be anisogamous, they may be of dissimilar size, or maybe oogamous, that do we have discussed just now, may that the larger gamete would be the static one or the female gamete, and the smaller one which would be the motile gamete or the male gamete. And the union of the gametes may take place in water or within the oogonium. In the case of oogamous species, it takes place within the oogonium. As for the examples are concerned, the common members, for example, are Dictyota, Ectocarpus, Fucus, Laminaria, Sargassum, etc. We may frame that to learn it alphabetical. In the alphabetical sequence, we may try to remember it: D, E, F, L, S. D, E, F, L, S. So we may observe the members Dictyota, Ectocarpus, Fucus, Sargassum, and Laminaria, which are the members of the group Phaeophyceae or brown algae. Now we'll discuss the next group, which is Rhodophyceae, which is also known as red algae. Most of the members of the red algae, they are mostly marine in nature, and they are having certain types of pigments due to which it is red in color, which is R-phycoerythrine. Due to presence of the pigment R-phycoerythrine, it is red in color. And regarding their habitats, most of the members, they are present within the warmer areas, and they occur in both well-lighted regions close to the surface of water, whereas some they also survives deep in the depth of the oceans where relatively very little light penetrates. If we go for the structure of the body, the red thalli of most of the members, they are multicellular in structure, and the food which is stored in the case of red algae is the Floridian starch. This Floridian starch, which is very much having the similar structure to the amylopectin and having glycogen also. So as if we'll discuss the structure of the starch is having two components, that is amylose and amylopectin. So that this Floridian starch is having the component amylopectin as well as the glycogen. Glycogen, do we know it is the animal, we can say, reserve food. In the case of plant, starch is the reserve food material, but in this case do we may observe that this red algae, it is also having the stored food in the form of glycogen, which is in the form of Floridian starch. As do we have discussed in the case of green algae, paranoids and oil droplets were the stored food materials, whereas in the case of brown algae, it was having laminarine and mannitol. As for the reproduction is concerned, the red algae, it reproduces vegetatively also through the same process, which is fragmentation, or it also reproduces through asexual mode of reproduction, but in this case it reproduces through forming non-motile spores. As do we have discussed in the case of Phaeophyceae or brown algae, the zoospores were pear-shaped and were biflagellated, but in this case asexual reproduction, it takes place by forming non-motile spores, whereas sexual reproduction, it takes place also through forming non-motile spores. As the sexual reproduction, it takes place by the fusion of the male and female gametes. So the gametes, they are non-motile gametes, and it is of the oogamous type. Do we have discussed in the previous groups? It was having isogamous, anisogamous, and oogamous. In the case of red algae, it shows the oogamous method of sexual reproduction, and it is accompanied by complex post-fertilization changes or developments do occurs in the case of red algae. As for the examples are concerned, the common members are Polysiphonia, Porphyra, Gracilaria and Gelidium. Gracilaria and Gelidium do we have discussed. It is used for the deriving the commercial product which is agar. We may frame the code P square and G square. So we may observe the members of the red algae which are Porphyra, Polysiphonia. Let us have a quick look about the comparative account of these three different groups within the Thallophyta. The common name for the Chlorophyceae do we have discussed. It is commonly called as green algae, Phaeophyceae as brown algae, whereas the Rhodophyceae as red algae. Do we have discussed the major pigments present within the Chlorophyceae are chlorophyll A and B, whereas in the case of brown algae, it is chlorophyll A and C, as well as carotenoids and fucoxanthine, which is a type of xanthophyll pigment, are present, and whereas in the case of Rhodophyceae, the pigments are chlorophyll A, D, and phycoerythrin. Regarding the stored food is concerned, we have discussed in the case of Chlorophyceae, it is in the form of paranoids, which do we have discussed, which were protein besides starch. In the case of Phaeophyceae, it is mannitol and laminarine, whereas in the case of Rhodophyceae, it is the Floridian starch. In the case of cell wall, do we have discussed in the case of Chlorophyceae, it is made up of cellulose, whereas in the case of Phaeophyceae, it is made up of cellulose and algine, and whereas in the case of Rhodophyceae, the cell wall is made up of cellulose, pectin, and polysulfate esters. If we go for the number of flagellar numbers and position of insertions, we may observe in the case of Chlorophyceae, 2 to 8 equal and apical are present. In the case of Phaeophyceae, 2 unequal and lateral flagella do we have discussed. In the case of asexual reproduction, zoospores we are having pariform shape and we are having unequal lateral placed flagella were present. In the case of Rhodophyceae, the flagella they are absent. As in the case of habitats, the Chlorophyceae they are mostly freshwater or present in the brackish water or salt water. In the case of Phaeophyceae, mostly they are freshwater. Rarely they are found in the brackish water or warm and salt water. In the case of Rhodophyceae, do we have discussed, very few members are present in the freshwater, whereas in the brackish water and salt water, they are found abundantly and mostly in the depth of the oceans. So till so far here, thank you. Have a nice day.